I love Haikyuu. Growing up and throughout high school and college, I was a fairly competitive volleyball player. It was simply a sport that I gravitated towards for a couple of reasons. One was that you couldn't really have a single person dominate the entire game. It truly felt as if everyone on the court had a meaningful impact, making the wins feel distinctly like a team effort. Number two, every single point was a new opportunity to start over, to recollect yourself, and forget about what happened in the past. An important lesson for not only sports but life as a whole. Seeing the team come together to celebrate something we all had worked so hard for are memories that I'll always hold dear to me. And I've never felt as close to the game of volleyball than I have while watching and reading Haikyuu. I couldn't be more pleased with the success that it's had over the years, but for people who have never played volleyball or didn't have any vested interest in the sport, what incentive would there be for them to read a manga completely centered around it? And that is a totally valid take. Given Haikyuu is a shonen manga, an area that's filled with battles, non-stop action, and a series that's meant for young teens, how could a series about volleyball possibly fit into this picture? How could a show about boys tossing a ball around possibly compete with pirates wielding mythical devil fruit powers or ninjas wielding these insane jutsu? Well, it's my goal in this video to show you, and hopefully this video helps shed light on why I think sports manga in general shouldn't be slept on. So with that, let's talk about Haikyuu and why I think it masters the art of the incredible sports manga. It goes without saying that Haikyuu would not be the show that it is without its incredibly charming and well-constructed cast of characters. For me, it never really felt as if there were any quote empty characters. Each person that Hinata meets along his journey have their own goals, motivations, and dreams they all aspire towards. This allows us to really connect with every single person that we meet, making each and every one of them memorable. And speaking of dreams, nobody embodies the principle of this more than our main protagonist, Hinata. He's someone who doesn't let his height get in the way of achieving his dreams on his journey to being the best volleyball player to ever live. He embodies a never-ending determination to achieve his goals no matter the effort, sacrifice, or wall that stands in his way. He's someone who, in the face of countless adversity, stays positive and relentless. To me, and I think many fans of the series, this isn't just cartoonishly naive. You can feel through each of his struggles that he wants to be the best more than anything, and to me that resonated deeply. In the very first episode of the series, he monologues about being able to reach the pinnacle of his sport. What is the view when he reaches that point, and will he ever be able to get there? Plain and simply, Hinata just oozes ambition, and that is just so inspiring. And if you think it just stops there, that's just our main character. The beautiful world that Furudate created is filled with individuals where when we peel back the layers of each character, there's an incredible amount of depth and complexity to witness. Right off the bat, Tobio Kageyama is immediately another character who comes to mind. We're introduced to him as a perfectionist who's clearly head and shoulders above everyone when it comes to his skill. But you also have to consider that he's been playing volleyball since elementary school, most likely way before the kids around him got initiated into the game. And given this, volleyball is much more than simply a game to Kageyama. Volleyball is his purpose, it's his everything, and it's a game that he's put countless hours of practice into. Unlike Hinata, who sees the game of volleyball as his true love, Kageyama sees it instead as a way of life, a doctrine for him to follow. To him, there's absolutely no room for slacking off or error, and those who do aren't acceptable in his eyes. If you can't perform on the court, you're directly obstructing what he sees as his identity in life, and that soon begins to change and unravel when he meets Hinata, someone who, while being a lot less talented than him, showed him that his work ethic can rival even the most talented players. Hinata's willingness to work as hard as humanly possible to ensure that he wouldn't slow Kageyama down earned him a lot of respect. And it's this mindset shift paired with the pain he felt losing all of his teammates due to his attitude that Kageyama has now begun a journey of self-improvement both on and off the court. By learning patience, teamwork, and accepting others for their strengths apart from their skill in volleyball allows Kageyama to transition from an authoritative character to the genuinely likable person we see today. And lastly, we have one of my favorite characters in the entire series, Oikawa. Although he isn't the most talented player on the court, he was able to get to the position he's in by pure grit, hard work, determination, and a willingness to be the absolute best despite his insufficiencies. So much so to the point that he's considered one of the strongest volleyball players in all of Japan due to his drive alone. And this is just a small taste of the colorful and wide cast of characters that Hinata and Karasuno meet on their journey. The eclectic and varied cast of characters immerses you in a world that's filled with competitive, fiery people who have their own distinct motivations. This provides a fresh environment, preventing the world from feeling static or that the characters are never changing. As is the case in real life, Hinata will play against a character at a later point in time than their first match and comment on how much they've improved as a player. The characters, by extension, are a perfect tool used by Furudate to expand on the depth of the world that our characters take part in. However, if our characters were simply the only good thing about Haikyuu, I don't think it would get nearly the good reception that it does. Without question, what also makes Haikyuu absolutely beautiful has got to be its Haikyuu's story is just plain and simply engaging. Everything about the progression from Hinata going from an uninformed but athletic volleyball player to the seasoned talent that he is just simply entertaining. When he enters the Karasuno gym, it's a whole new atmosphere filled with people to learn from, skills to master, and a fresh new team to climb the ladder with. I'd argue alongside Team 7, the Straw Hat Crew, and the Black Bulls, Karasuno's team is one that captured my heart as they fought their way through tougher and tougher obstacles. Every single member of the team is incredibly likable because they have something of value to offer to the team, even if they aren't the star player. This dedication and commitment to one another leads to a domino effect that allows other team members to grow, improve, and just get stronger together. It's the support, wisdom, and kind words that allows the team to flourish, grow, and achieve wins together that make these moments so special. And it's the plot as a whole that intertwines with this to really get a compelling and enjoyable narrative. The plot at a glance may not seem overly deep, choosing to center around the day-to-day practices or training camps where our characters learn new skills to add to their repertoire during matches, but I think this realistic story is the perfect build-up for the culmination of all their hard work, the horizon they look towards during their training, the time when they can lay it all on the line, literally. Yes, obviously I am talking about the To me, the matches in this series really take the cake, and I feel as if this is what got a lot of people hooked on the series as a whole. The build-up, excitement, and sheer emotions that can be felt during each match is absolutely insane. From Karasuno's match against Aoba Josei to their climactic encounter with Shiratorizawa, their friendly but heated rivalry with Tokyo School Nekuma, and their tense battle with Inarizaki. Every single match brought a new and fresh way to experience volleyball without it becoming stale. The emphasis on certain teams having strength in a few particular areas made the show feel authentic while giving us the shonen feel that we were all looking for. By extension, no one team felt the exact same, and as a result gave the Karasuno roster a chance to shine. The way in which teams adjust, pivot, and adapt to Karasuno's playstyle gives us new and exciting ways in which the team can ultimately overcome these opponents. And this leads to some of the most impactful, memorable, and emotional character developments that I have ever seen before in anime. Hinata learning how to dig a ball by watching players doing it in training camp, and then doing it in the Inarizaki match highlighted his non-stop determination in making the most out of any situation. Tsukishima blocking Ushijima and letting out a scream of excitement was absolutely jaw-dropping, where I genuinely felt goosebumps as if I was there with the team during this moment. moment. And who could possibly forget the iconic moment where Kageyama and Hinata made a solid connection, setting up the dynamic of the main duo while looking absolutely badass as well. A good sports manga isn't one that simply conveys the rules of the sports well or realistically. It's a medium that allows both players and non-players alike to experience the beauty of the game, understand the team's dynamics, and become fully immersed in the world that the characters are a part of. It's understanding the ecstatic highs of victory while also feeling the deep sadness of a crushing loss. It's seeing our main cast struggling day in and day out to achieve a greater goal, become better versions of themselves, and work together with the people that become, for all intents and purposes, family. And this isn't summarized any better than in the words of Fuki Hibarita, the head coach of Japan's national team, in chapter 368. It's only those brave enough, those bold enough to follow the difficult, demanding path of competition, who have the right to reap the wealth of experience and memories it can bring. For today you happen to be the defeated, but what will you become tomorrow? This begs the question, what will we all strive to become tomorrow? The choice we all have to become better or worse than the day prior is entirely up to us, and that's a really powerful message. I think many people can be deeply inspired by this and don't have to be a volleyball fanatic to associate with these concepts. The sheer beauty of Haikyuu and its storytelling is that it ties together so many aspects of life that are told just through the medium of volleyball. Struggle, growth, perseverance, ambition, and not letting your situation undermine your drive to succeed. So my ask for you, even if you're not a volleyball fan, even if you're not a sports fan, heck, even if you're not an anime fan, I highly recommend giving it a read or watch if you haven't already. You might find that it resonates in deep and profound ways like it did for me. Many thanks to all of you for making it to the end of the video. If you guys like this content, please be sure to like and subscribe so I know that this is exactly what you're interested in seeing me cover. And with that, I'll chat with you all in the next one. Stay curious, anime fam. Peace.